Hello everyone. So this is a new session on database management. This is part of web development as well, because in web development, a lot of time records have to be stored permanently, and for that we use database. We are discussing how we will be querying more than one table whenever we have to search records matching more than one table. So for example, I have already created two tables. This is on your screen. So if you have a department table, in the department table, you can see we have department name, location, and head of the department. So sales department is located at Ranchi, and we have Mr. Sira Mandal as the head of the department. Similarly, we have marketing department at Delhi. Ms. Jiya Sharma is the head of the department. R&D is at Delhi. HR is at Ranchi, and corporate relation it is at Delhi. Now we have employees and the records of which are stored in the employee table. So as you can see, there are nine employee records in the employee table. And in the employee table, we have a department ID, which tells which department this particular employee belongs to. For example, Mr. Sira Mandal belongs to department number 10. Mr. Abid Hussain belongs to department number 10. Similarly, Henry Paul is from department number 10. We have Ms. Jiya Sharma from department number 20, Mr. Ahmad Siraj from department number 20, Mr. Rohit from department number 30, Ms. Mina from department number 40. Mr. Rajiv and Ms. Chandni has not yet been allotted any department, so their department number is not there. Now, suppose we have to print the name of the employee, their department name, and their location. So we have to match the one record from a table employee, and the other values will be coming from the other table. So we have to search employee name from employee table. Then we'll take department. This is department number 10. So department number 10, department name is sales and location is Rajiv. So whenever we have to print values from more than one department, more than one table, the columns are coming from more than one table. It can be two table, three table, or n number of tables. Then such a query, such a select statement is called a join or SQL join. And there are different types of join we'll be discussing one by one. So majority join can be considered into four types. If you can see here, we have four types of join. And the first example is the inner join. So when we join two tables and we want to show only those records which are common to the table are called the inner join. And when we want everything from both the table, then it's called full join. Then we have a left join. You can see from the intersection diagram that left join means all records from the left table. Right join means all records from the right table, including the intersecting records. So these are the different types of join, and this is the example that we'll be looking at. We have a department table and the employee table are linked through the department ID. You can see we have a department ID in the department table, and this department ID tells us the other information about the department. So if we want to see the employee Sira Mandal belongs to which department, we want to find the department name, then we have to find the department name will be fetched from the department table, and these two tables will be linked through the department ID, which is a common column. So whenever we want records to be taken out from more than one table, then there usually has a common column. So here we have a department ID, common column. So now if we want to see how we will see, let us come to the example. Now, suppose we have the same records inserted in the database. So we have department table, these are the records. We have employee table, these are the records. And now if we want to display employee name, department name, location, phone number of all the employees, and we give the command select employee this command suppose we use. Please concentrate on the command. We have employee name. Employee name will be coming from the employee table. We have department name that is coming from the department table. We have location coming from the department table, and we have phone number that is coming from the employee table. You can see in the employee table we have phone number and the employee name. And the department table, if you can see, we have department name and the location. So let us quickly turn to the database. We have this database already created. We have the department table and the employee table. You can see the records are already inserted. These are the same records that we have been discussing. And if you can see here in the employee table again, we have the same records. Now, if we give the command, let me clear, let me give the command, select employee name, department name, location, phone from employee. Let me select employee name, department name, location from employee, comma, department. So this is another table. So what will happen? This in this query, we are not telling the database how these two tables will be linked. So how the database will understand that we have to fetch the name of the employee from the employee table and then match its department from the department table. So for that, if we run this as of now, we can see that we get a Cartesian join. So Mr. Sira Mandal, sales, Ranchi, phone number, Mr. Sira number, marketing, Mr. Sira Mandal, R&D, Mr. Sira Mandal, HR, Mr. Sira Mandal. So this is matching all the columns of all the records from one table and all the records from the other table. So it will have multiple records. This is not what we want. So what we want, let us see once again. So we have employee name, department, location, phone number from employee table. And here we'll give another table is the department table. And we have to mention a condition where the employee table department ID should match with the department table department ID. So now the database will understand that we have to show all these records by matching the two columns. So now if we see the output, you can see Mr. Siramandal belongs to the sales department. Sales department is at Ranchi and his phone number is 9923. Whatever is the number. So Mr. Abid Hussain is also from the sales department, Ranchi. Mr. Henry Paul is also from the sales department, Ranchi. So if we see the tables, this is the command. You can see we have given where clause and we have given the column which are matching. So let us come to the tables once again. In the department table, see we have a department ID. In the employee table also, see we have a department ID. So this department ID of one table is getting matched with the department ID of the second table. And this is how the database is trying to link these two tables. So we have two tables. If we can come to the output once again. See, we have two tables. We can see the department table and the employee table, and we want the employee name and the department name. So this will be linked through the department ID. So what we are doing, we are using the where clause, and then we are trying to match those records and display. I will run the command once again. Select. I'll write the command once again. This is not that we want. So these are the columns: employee name, department name, location, phone from employee, and department. So we are mentioning that these columns will come from this department, and also where the employee table department ID column should match with the department table department ID column. So if we do it this way, this is called inner join, and all those records which are common will be shown. So you can see these are the records which are common in both the table. By the common, what we mean is, if you can see here, it is not showing from the first table this department number 50, the corporate relation, because this 50 record number is not available in employee table. And these employees are also not showing because the department number is not mentioned. So what is mentioned? Department number 10, 20, 30, and 40. So all those employee record will be shown which have the department in one table, and the department is also available in the second table. So you can see in the first table here, we have this record which has no employee with the department number 50. So this will not be shown in the inner join. And these records will also be not shown in the inner join because the department number does not match with the any of the department. So inner join is, as you can see in the diagram that we have used, inner join means only those records which are common to both the tables. Now, suppose we want to see a record of all employees, irrespective of whether they belong to any department or not. So that will be done through the left outer join. If we want to see all the departments, that will be done through the right outer join. If we want to see all the records from both tables, then that will be done from the full outer join. So what does we mean? Let us come and let us see the example. Now, if we see the left outer join, here you can see in the left outer join, select employee name, department, location, phone from employee, and we are mentioning left join department on, and this is the condition: employee ID, department ID of employee table should match with the department ID of the department table. So you can see here we are getting the records from all the records of the employee table. So all the records of the employee table are shown here. That means all employee name are shown, but the department numbers and location are not matching, so it is coming as null. In the previous example, you can see in inner join, only there are 7 records, only the name of those employees are being shown whose department is available. In here, all the employees are being shown whether they belong to any particular department or not. So the all records of the first table here is employees. So all the records of the first table, that is left of the two table, will be shown in the left outer join. Now, if we see the right outer join, you can see in the right outer join, we are displaying all the records from the department table. So the corporate relation department is based on in Delhi, but since there are no employees, so the employee name is not shown here. So this is called right outer join. When we are doing projects, a lot of time we get into situation wherein we have to show records from multiple table, and there are situations wherein sometimes we want to show only those records which are common to more than one table. Sometimes we want to see records which belong, all the records from one table, which is the number one table, or all the records from the number two table. Or many times we want to see all the records. So in full outer join, what we can do, we use full outer join. So all the records from both the table will be shown. Now, if I come to the, let me come with this command. This is the left outer join. Let me copy it. I'll come to the database. I'll come to the SQL part, and I'll clear this and I'll paste it. So you can see once I click it, we have all those employees, all the employees, whether they belong to any department or not. Why? Because the first table is employee ID. The first table is employee. So in left outer join, all records of the first table will be shown irrespective of whether their department matches from the second table or not. Now, if we use the same command, I'll copy, I'll paste it here, and instead of left, I will use the right word, and you will see that now all the records from the all the records which are matching plus all the records from the second table are being shown. Similarly, if I use full outer join, then all the records will be shown. So this is very important. This session will be short, but this is very important. You have to create this table, enter all those records and try to execute the commands to understand this concept, because from the next session we'll be moving on to the front end part where we'll be creating forms, and then these records will be displayed in the forms. So before that, you have to understand this join session. Join, let's come to the theory once again. What is join? Fetching records from more than one table is called join. And how do we join it? There are four, well, there are basically two types of join: inner join and outer join. In inner join, all the records which are matching will be shown. So if we have department table and the employee table, here I'll repeat once again. In the employee table, you can see there are 7 employees from the top, whose departments are available in the department table. So in inner join, only those records will be shown which has matching values in both the table. In outer join, we can have left outer join, all the records from the first table, right outer join, all the records from the second table, plus the common records will be also shown. And in outer join, all the records will be shown. So I'll upload this video. I'll share the link, and I'll also put all these commands that we have discussed today in the description section. So you can run the video, pause it, use this the commands from the description and try to execute it. So I'll keep this session small, but you have this very important session. Please go through it seriously, because this will be very much used in the coming projects.